Hello, guys. How are you doing today?
Hi Dheeraj, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining my series of AWS User Group, uh, where we are actually joining people from community. We are sharing our knowledge. We are answering the queries of people who wants to become a part of the user group community, or they are vouching to be part of it, and they want to know how it is going to impact us if we are part of this specific community. So that is how we share our journey and motivate people, and also help them know that how it helped us in our career, being a part of community person. So let me start with the Q&A with Sabiha. So Sabiha, over to you. I would request you to please go ahead and share your journey as part of AWS User Group Dubai, how you opted for it. Now, after opting it, what kind of benefits you saw in terms of your personal and professional growth, and the kind of knowledge that you are obtaining by learning by somebody, or by sharing your knowledge to someone else, to the people uh, who are coming in your user group meetups or the virtual meetups you guys are conducting. So over to you, Sabi.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dheeraj. And here we have with us, the other members. We have Hussain Mansoor. He has been there since the inception of the AWS community Dubai. And he onboarded me and Hameedullah, recently last year as user group leaders. And as we conducted, and we have one more user group leader. His name is Anas Khatar, and he's a very interesting guy. You would have loved to meet him, but he couldn't make it today. And then we have our when we had this community day meeting, we had so many people who came up to help us and volunteer and spend their time. So Haider and Lokesh, I don't know if there is some issue with his connection today. So they both helped us, and there are other volunteers. We will discuss about them. So how it started for me was I opted for this community builder program, AWS Community Builder, and I became a community builder. And Mohammed Fazlullah, he's a senior developer advocate in AWS, and he's also our community mentor. So he reached out to me and he said that there is a community, a user group which we run in Dubai, and would you like to present a talk? So that's how I went in as a speaker, and then I met all these beautiful people, and since then I've been there. And Hussein onboarded me as a co-organizer at the beginning. Then towards the end of 2022, I think he onboarded us as user group leaders. So that's how it has started. And talking about community, so I have to say that, human beings, we are all like social animals. We like to stay in a community. We like to copy each other, learn from each other.
Agree.
But we do have, an identity with us. And like, I am the solutions architect at this company, or I'm a mother, or I'm a wife. And we try to, do some duties according to that. But deep inside, we'll have some interest, we'll have some passion which we want to, explore. But we'll not have a friend or somebody to mentor us or to help us or to guide us through that. So this is where the communities come into place. They are like breeding grounds for passion. They are like, these user groups are like passion playgrounds, you can say. So in general, the tech community is a little bit shy. We are a little bit, introverts. And when we go to these communities, we talk to each other and we see these people, and they are doing so much more than usual. They are after hours, they are working, they are presenting talks, they are conducting YouTube sessions like you, Dheeraj. So when we see these people, you get motivated, and then you realize that I know so much, but what I'm doing with this knowledge is very less. So you start, building yourself up, and you start bridging that knowing and that doing gap. So that is very important. I think that's where the community part comes into play. Yeah.
Great, great. That's a great journey. And Sabiha, what I can see that nowadays a few women like you who are part of AWS communities, tech communities, I would say. So it is a tech community where so women like you are joining, uh, and you all are an inspiration to other women who want to join. the AWS communities. So I am also hosting a community in Pune along with my team. So always there is, there is a less number of women participating, but nowadays the kind of inspiration you women are creating, like you, Bhuvna, and a lot of women who are there in tech communities who are creating inspiration. Really, it's impacting people, and they are coming forward and they are joining nowadays the AWS tech communities to revolutionize their ideas and share with the wider audience. So thank you for that, Sabiha, for sharing your journey in the AWS community. So I will move ahead to Haider. So hi Heather, thank you for joining the call, the talk, and I would request you to please go ahead and share with us that what was your journey of joining AWS User Group community and how it is helping you. And apart from that, I will have a surprise question after your introduction.
Okay, thank you first, Dheeraj, and thank you all. Thank you, Hussain, Sabiha, and everyone. I mean, I'm part of this wonderful user group. 4 5 years back, I was complete techie, working on my laptop, doing DBA, IT infrastructure, virtualization, AWS, other cloud, multi-cloud things, doing innovations. Then COVID changed my life. I mean, when I moved from office to the home, so I learned that I can do a lot of things from the innovation perspective. I started mentoring different startups and other things. But one thing I felt, there was one missing part, which I felt everywhere. The life is like a bubble life. It After some time, those groups just vanishes. But when I started joining the AWS user group, I saw Hussain, I saw Fazlullah, I saw other guys. I felt that this is something which will stay there. I mean, there are things. It's something which will continue, and there are groups which are doing real things. I mean, people are helping each other, mentoring each other. I mean, it's not that you always learn from your seniors. A lot of times you learn from your peers, your juniors. They come up with some experience. They come up with a lot of beautiful things. So you have to grab that thing. You should have your open minds, and this is what AWS User Group gave me. I mean, I have attended a lot of talks from Hussein, and I have seen your YouTube videos. I have been writing a lot of articles on LinkedIn. But I mean, the beauty of the AWS user group, it is a community where people are active, where people are helping each other, where the things are happening all the time. So where you question, you receive a response from your seniors, juniors, and thank you all. I'm here. So, and it's a wonderful journey. I mean, from last 2 years, now I'm volunteering as well. This group, and I'm really enjoying it.
Great, great. So today, when we conduct our AWS meetups, so
Hmm,
there are people who are professionals who joins us.
hmm,
Then there are students who are actually very enthusiastic to learn about AWS as a technology. So how you can answer this question where somebody asks you that, Heather, I am actually in my engineering where I'm
hmm,
studying on computer science, and
hmm,
now I want to understand my roadmap. Where should I
hmm,
go? Should I go on the DevOps side? Should I
hmm,
go on the SysOps side, or should I go
hmm,
on the architecture side? Why I'm asking this question, because you are from the development background, so
hmm,
I think you can give some insights about it for
hmm,
the freshers who wants to join. So what is your
hmm.
point of view on this?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question because I always love to answer this question. So, from my perspective, what I believe, if someone is by mistake in computer science and his area of interest is something different, so he can do miracles in that area. So if he is looking that DevOps salaries are very high or SysOps salaries are very high, I should go there. Then I will ask him to take some time, stay in a room, see what is you inside you. I mean, are you an architect by birth? Are you a DevOps, or you are sysops, or you are something, you are an innovator? There is a big space of innovations. There is a big space of blockchains. I mean, if you are a mathematician, you can do something different. I mean, so I mean, my recommendation as a mentor is always there. Look at what is your interest. Do not look at market trends. Do not look at salary. You can do miracles in the area where your interest is.
That's a fantastic answer. I will, keep that in mind whenever I get to my next meetup and if somebody asks me this question. So Sabiha is laughing. So Sabiha, do you have any other point of view that you want to add to this?
No, I actually totally agree with this, because if you don't have interest in that particular thing, you'll not get interested to go on. But of course, sometimes life throws, lemons at us, and we do make some lemonade out of it. So that's a different story. But yeah, I agree with his answer. Yes.
But the catchy part over here that Haider said is, nowadays people want to go in DevOps. The reason for that is, I will do Google search, the best job which is going to pay you high, and people want to vouch for it. But what Heather is trying to say that I understood is, you should not vouch for what is giving you money. You should understand by yourself that what is your potential, and based on that decide your roadmap. Because if you go on the salary perspective, okay, you will get a job, but after 1 year it will become a monotonous thing for you that you don't like. So try to join that thing that is where you would have passion and you would grow vertically. Correct me if I'm wrong, Heather, right?
Yes, you will be an ordinary person. You will be like many others after 1 year. You will never be a pioneer. You will never be a different person. I mean,
That's a fantastic input, I would say. So thank you so much, Heather, for sharing that. So I would be moving ahead to Hameedullah. So hi, Hameedullah, welcome on board. And so the question to you is, how you entered this AWS user group community, and how you are taking it forward, and what are your plans being a part of AWS User Group Dubai, that how you want to grow it in terms of sharing more knowledge, in terms of educating more people coming forward and joining, educating more women to come in and join this group and make it massive so that the education can be shared in terms of AWS knowledge uh, in Dubai.
Thank you so much, Dheeraj. And it has been so nice discussion about the career and all. The question that you have asked is actually a very interesting question. How are we going to grow the AWS user group in Dubai, and why I joined this user group? So, like since beginning, like these other people, I had this passion where I used to share my knowledge. I used to teach people for free when I didn't started my professional career. I learned Linux like 17 years ago, and I started teaching for free to everybody that, okay, come learn Linux. So this has sharing knowledge has been my passion. And when I found out about this user group Dubai, I joined them. I started attending the sessions, and then Hussain asked me like, if you want to contribute and volunteer. So I said, yeah, sure, why not? This has been my passion. And all these user group leaders in Dubai, they have been doing a great job in growing the community, reaching out to the people, and seeing how we can actually grow this user group in Dubai. The plans that we have for this year, these guys will share more on that, but I will just quickly put a highlight. We are going to plan the whole year session, and then we will come up with the topics. Well, we will try to give chance to the new speakers who want to present in the community, because the more new speakers we will have in the community, the more new people who are coming forward to share their knowledge, to share their experiences, the more the community will grow, because people will be learning from more experiences, more knowledge. So this is one thing that we would be focusing on this year, and we will encourage everybody who is listening now or who will be attending later on our meetups. We have a one planned this month as well. So we will be encouraging more and more people to come forward and share whatever knowledge they have. As Heather shared before, it's not necessary that you will learn from your seniors. Sometimes you learn from your peers, sometimes you learn from your juniors as well. So do not underestimate your knowledge or your experience that you have. Come forward and share it, and you will never know other people who will benefit from that knowledge and experience. So this is an important point, and this is why we want to encourage other people in the community as well to come forward and speak and share their experiences, and that's how they will also learn. Because once you share your experience, maybe you were not doing something right, and that's why you face the issues. So somebody will come forward and share, their experience. Okay, I did it, but I did it differently, and this is how we can do it. And this is the whole idea of the community, where we come together, share our knowledge, share our experiences with each other, and collaborate on those things. And there has been so many opportunities that I have got. Even before AWS User Group Dubai, I was very active in the Dubai. There was a Dubai DevOps meetup I used to go and speak at and connect with people. And as you were asking in the beginning, how it helped in your career, I have got so many opportunities from those connections that I'm just amazed. Like, this community thing and this networking thing is really amazing, and people should really take advantage of this by coming forward and meeting other people in the meetups.
So that's a very good point, Hameedullah. So guys who are watching this video, it's a very good thing that he has shared, that it's not only about having a user group meetups or having speakers. These people who are contributing, they are having a keen desire, just to share their knowledge with other people. And whoever is sharing, the user group communities, they make sure that what they are sharing is to a good level. So for example, question to all you guys, so whenever there is a new speaker that we are bringing in, right? So it's not the speaker comes and he says that he wants to give a talk, and we tell him that go ahead and you can give the talk. We actually verify that what is the content, is that content impactful, is the audience looking for it. If you're giving on a level 300 or 400, so the kind of people we cater as part of our user group communities, can they take it, right? So that's
Yeah.
what, yeah, that's what I guess we do as part of the UG communities. So, and actually that is a very good suggestion. I am also on the same line, that we should give opportunities to the new speakers who are coming in regularly as part of our user group meetups. That will motivate them, to grow their skills to that level that they would stand in front of us and give a very good uh, tech talk about AWS service or anything which helps to share the knowledge on AWS to others. So thank you so much for that, Hamidullah. So moving ahead to Hussein. Hi, Hussein.
Hi, how are you?
I am good. Thank you for joining the call. So, Hussein, my question to you would be, I would request you to please go ahead and share your journey of AWS user community, how you joined, what is your experience, and is there any such experience that you had that you want to share with the audience, which would help them know that these all types of things can help them grow in their career or personally, in terms of having this user group community meetup. So, like for example, one very good point shared by Sabiha was, when you are meeting few people. So, even if you are introvert, you start talking with others. There is a peer-to-peer networking that comes into picture. So, over to you, Hussein.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, thank you for having me and all of the user group leaders and volunteers. These we had other volunteers as well. We recently completed a AWS Community Day, Dubai, the first ever, and I'm so happy that we managed to deliver that. It was quite a successful event.
Wow.
The tickets were sold out in 4 days, and
Wow. 4 days.
there were more people joined than people who registered. So we were overbooked, sort of. And it's not like that people started in the morning and they took their swags and left. We gave away the swags in the middle of the session, and if they wanted to leave, they could have leave. But almost 80% of the people stayed until the closing ceremony. So it shows that people were really interested. Okay, so my journey and about this the user group. So my career is a bit unique one, that I started as a mobile application developer and I didn't know what backend servers, APIs, integration, database, what that is. I never worked on Linux or any such thing. So my world was different. iOS development and Android development and working with sensors and UI and all that. And at a certain point in time, I decided that there's nothing more for me to learn. I should venture out. And then things happened and I moved into cloud and all that. On my career journey, AWS has written a public blog. The name of that blog is Cloud Curiosity Leads to Career Transformation. If you Google that, you'll find a AWS blog about my career journey, that how a mobile application developer becomes a cloud architect. So I'm a solution architect at one of the airlines in Dubai. That's a big hint for anyone.
I got it.
Yeah, so I lived in Malaysia for around 6+ years. And in Malaysia, the community is tech community specifically is amazing. So they like forget about the events. They have a Slack group, and every day easily I can say easy you'll receive 200 messages. People are chatting about a new problem statement. If there will be a chat GPT, they'll discuss how is it, how to use it, what it's going on. It's just an example, but you can know. If there's a breach, you will know it there. If there's some new tool which is interesting, somebody's trying out, they will share it, people will discuss it. So it was amazing. So I started with iOS community back in Malaysia, and then since my career transformed into DevOps and cloud, so I started attending DevOps meetups and then cloud meetups. And then when I moved here from Malaysia, I figured out that the community is not as happening here. Probably due to COVID, a lot of things went online and people were not really meeting in person. So I met Mohammed Fazlullah, who is AWS developers developer advocate.
Yeah.
So he was also with me in Malaysia. We are very good friends since past 6, 7, 8 years now. So he asked me, let's start the same vibe, the same community, the same interactions here in this region as well. And then that's the start of it. So the target for the year 2022 was that let's have a meetup every month, no matter what the target audience is, no matter what the topics are, but let's have a continuity, let's have a momentum rolling on. And at the end of this like 2022 in December, we were able to pull off this community day. Now the target for next year is not to have random talks, but to have themes, very technical talks, more workshops, because people like to be hands-on. And the community, if I talk about the community here, it's really good. It's amazing because when we started back in March 2022, it was different, but now it's totally different. So we have students, university students who are joining us, who are looking at these unique career paths of cloud, DevOps, SREs, and stuff like that. Then I personally know a lot of people in the community who joins regular meetups who are doing something else, like they were in quality engineering and they transitioned into cloud and became a solution architect. So we have people like that. Of course, we have hands-on professionals who are DevOps engineers who work on cloud day and night. So we have people like that. We have people who are exploring, like purely non-technical people, people from sales background, people from business background, and they are exploring. They are joining our meetups to understand what's this buzz about, what's going on, and especially after the UAE region launch, the hype is amazing here. So yeah, that was the whole journey. Of course, when I started, we were just two people, Anas and me, but Anas is also leading user groups across MENA region. So he's always flying in and out. So he needed somebody who is always here, based out of UAE. I was the first one, but I was not enough. So then Sabiha joined me, then Hameedullah joined me. And now in December also, we had AWS User Group Abu Dhabi. So Dubai was the first one in this country, and then the Abu Dhabi is the second one, and hopefully we might have user group Sharjah, or might have few more. Who knows?
So the number
So
keeps on
let's see.
increasing day by day, right?
Number keeps on increasing. The first event I joined, we were around 25 people. The maximum we have reached for a monthly meetup is 80.
Okay.
So numbers is continuously going up, especially given the fact that UAE is not as big as in terms of IT, let's say in India. Like, yeah, there are hundreds and thousands of people in IT. UAE is not that big, but still, the enthusiasm is great. The attendance is great. Uh,
Yeah. So, but what I'm seeing is 2023 is bringing in a lot of energy. So
that's
people
true.
were actually waiting for in-person meetups. So
Yes.
today I had a meetup. So in last meetup I was having in November 35 people who joined, and today it was around 250 plus, like 270 or 280 in-person meetup. So 2023 is actually getting people excited to join the in-person meetup groups. So one quick question to you, Hussain. So as you have worked in both the flavor, that is virtual and in-person meetup, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So what do you say? Like, what is more impactful, or what carries a lot of weight compared to both of them? What is your point of view on that?
So my point of view is quite straightforward. See, when you meet somebody in person, right? It's not only about what they're speaking, it's the body language, how they are in person, right? They, of course, when the meetup ends, you have people discussing about different topics, what went well, what didn't went well. Then most of the times you might have food, and
Oh,
food is a great way to discuss
yes.
so many things, right? It continues the conversation. So when you have in-person events, you really relate to people on a different scale rather than just looking through the screens. If once the Zoom is over, once whatever the Google Meet is finished, it's done. All the communication stops then and there. But in-person meetup, the communication starts before meetup. Some people will come early, during food, after the meetup is over. So the connections are not, uh, for the duration of the meetup. It continues. So when I started, I didn't knew anyone. I recently moved to Dubai almost last year. So now I know so many people, their names, where they work, what they do, what their skill set, what their ambitions in cloud, like certification or skills or different services they want to learn. I know them, and every once in a while, randomly, I get a WhatsApp message that do you guys have certificate vouchers, or can we cover this new service? So these are all the interactions which they only happens if you meet somebody and then they know that, yeah, this guy is approachable, is fine. We can even approach them, right? They are contactable. If you only stick to online meetups, I don't think that can ever happen, because nobody is going to share their WhatsApp publicly on a Zoom call or something. I think that never happens, right? But if you meet in person and if you want to exchange contacts, that happens. That happens quite regularly.
Based on the interest, the interaction happens, the cross
Yeah.
number communication happens, right? So and you
Yes.
never know. Sometimes you meet a person in meetup who is more knowledgeable than you, and we get
Of
insights
course.
from him also, right? We learn from him.
Happens all the time. Happens all the time.
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much, Hussein, for sharing your journey and uh, your experience as part of this user group community. So moving forward to Logesh. Hi, Logesh. Welcome on
Okay.
board to the
Thank you
talk
so
show.
much for having me here.
Yeah.
I'm actually very happy today because I'm actually sharing my experience with my cloud inspirers, Sabiha, Hussain, Faz, Hameedullah, everyone. Actually, for AWS, I started my journey on 2019, but due to this COVID, that time job, because I actually work for banking sector, so that time like I was not having good skills on to learn the cloud things that time. So slowly I started, actually directly I started a solution architect preparation, but I so far I actually booked my exam 3 times. So I canceled 2 times, and like last March only I got it finally. For 2022 is actually very special to me. I started writing the technical blogs about AWS like last January. started like it's when it's actually first of all it's my interest, so I should learn something which is actually trending. So many people they are talking about cloud that time. Then why can't I learn this cloud? And I was referring so many this training like boot camps, attending this training sessions. Like a lot of I actually paid a lot of amount. In fact, I wasted, but finally, I found when I applied AWS Community Builder last year on January, I didn't get selected. Then slowly I realized, okay, this content is not enough to make to become a community builder. Then slowly I started I focused on like service based, let's focus. Okay, 1 month I said simply write something about storage, and 1 month for networking, storage. So like that, I slowly started writing about blog. Then last August, I got selected. Before that, I actually got a chance to attend one of the community events on a user group meetup in Dubai. So that made me okay, so user group meetup it's actually whatever I am learning from videos and all. So that should be it's not equal as this user group. So whenever I meet in person, so they are actually it's kind of networking, it's kind of knowledge sharing. So there are a lot of things actually made me to I can say whatever I learned today. So that's most of them from like a user group meetup and my own interest like AWS things. And then last, I think in the Q3, like one of my blog posts came in the top contribution. So one good thing is when you come for like user group and all, it's kind of you can request anything. It's vouchers. I got some credits from Hussain, and I started exploring like so many services, because sometimes like you feel that okay, if it is like a free account you are limited. So if you have like at least $25 in your credit, you will feel like okay, I can explore a lot of things. So in that way user group it helped me a lot. And in fact like, for vouchers also we can get it. So I hope I will be learning a lot of things from going forward this year. So thanks to the team, like user group leaders, like there are a lot of inspirers Anas, Faz. So everyone is actually keep on inspiring the people to start the cloud journey.
Thank you, Logesh, for sharing it. It was actually a very good journey, and it would actually help people to know that who are vouching to get into AWS. So there is so the kind of user group that you attend. So people are there like Hussain, Haider, Sabiha, Hameedullah. So these all people user group is there to help you guys, right? If somebody wants to grow, somebody wants to explore something, and along with AWS Community Builder program. So I also started with Community Builder program. So whenever somebody says about Community Builder, I become very energetic because that is how I started my journey. Then first Community Builder, then AWS User Group Pune. Then I met many of the people in APAC Summit. So that is how your communication with other people starts growing. So that's actually a fantastic program along with the user group. And in user group, face-to-face interaction is always great. So my question to anyone can answer this question. This is a very specific question that you guys might be getting as part of your user group. I am an attendee. Okay, I come to you. I came for the first time, but my question is, I want to become a part of this UG. I want to become the UG lead. First user group session, and that is the first question. So how you would answer that? How they can go ahead and become a UG lead or UG co-organizer, volunteers we already have. So how we can answer that? Who can give a good point of view on that?
Okay, let me take that because it's a regular question for me. Okay, so it's very straightforward. I tell them that there's a path, okay, which I followed. You should also follow. So start contributing towards community. That's it, as simple as that. Uh, uh, Be a speaker. Okay, first thing first. Everyone knows something. If you want to be a AWS user group leader, then of course you should know about AWS. Okay, you should not be selling cars and you want to be a AWS user group leader, right? That doesn't adds up.
Yes,
So
yes.
so of course, whatever you know about AWS, start sharing it with others. First step is, rather than just jumping towards to become AWS UG leader, why not become a community builder? Right? So that's also a way to contribute towards community. You'll get a lot of exposure. You'll learn also. And once you are a community builder, then if you still want to continue, then of course there's always doors are always open, right? It's a community led by a community. So we are nobody is as a owner for this community, right? It's all of us by working for others. So that's the step. So as far as the community builder is concerned, Logeswaran said that he was rejected one time. I was rejected 3 times. In my fourth attempt, I was selected as a community builder. And now I'm a user group leader for Dubai, right? So don't uh, don't hold yourself back. That if you're rejected as a community builder first time or second time, that's the end of it. You just have to continue. You just have to do a bit more than last time, and then that's it. So after 3 rejections from a community builder, I became a community builder when I started speaking in the user group. I thought that we should do this a lot more. And when I talked with the user groups leader back then, they said that we are hitting a capacity. We need more user groups. Why don't you volunteer? I said happily. When I started doing that, I reached a bottleneck. I need more hand. Sabiha may join me. Maybe this community grows more, and we might need 5 more people down the line. Then the people who are most active, who are contributing the most, of course, will get the chance to become the user group leader. But of course, your question is straightforward. If I want to answer that, it's your first meetup and you want to become a user group leader, then sorry, that's too impractical to accept.
Yeah, actually, I got that question a few hours before. So I was like, what should I answer? So I said that I said the same. It's all about contribution. You start contributing. There is a UG lead who is sitting. The UG lead's work is to help others to grow, right? They grow and they take others also with them. It's a hand holding that they are doing as a lead. So when he thinks that you're proficient to take over, he will move ahead and bring you over
Of
here.
course, and see, a user group leader is a title. It's very shiny, but if you go one level deep and look at what we do in the background, running after sponsors, running after venues, catering, speak, running after speakers, like who is available, who can do what. It's not that shiny that. Yeah, the title is very shiny. User group leader. You are leading a user group, and fine. But day to day, we know, right? That venue we were supposed to get is not available. Now we have to run after something else. The speaker is suddenly sick. Now we have to find a replacement speaker, and it's a lot of work. So monthly meetup is one thing, but if you really want to host an event like a recap or community day, then you know that how much complex that is. It's easy to host 20 people.
That
It's a
is,
different level of complexity to
yeah,
host 200, 300 people.
yes, yes. I agree with that. So when we were doing that for user group Pune, we were having 700 people who came in. It's not that easy to handle so much of crowd, because every person is different. If you say, it's not like everyone would work in the same manner. Someone would work in a different manner. Someone would understand in a different manner. So it's very difficult. As you said, like, it's not only this, and there are a lot of sleepless night also, Hussein, that you didn't mention about behind this tag, right? When we are hosting some event or something.
Yes. It's a continuous running after swags. So you have to run after, like, this is printed, this is not printed, and something, as in AWS terminology, something breaks all the time. So something will not work always. That's a given, right? No matter how much you prepare for it, something or some other thing will not work, and you have to be ready for it, and you have to work to resolve that. So happens all the time.
So that's a
Actually,
good comment saying that parent handling their kids' wedding.
Yeah, yeah.
yes,
That's true. Actually, I have actually witnessed that how difficult it is to go ahead and organize such a big event. And hats off to you guys that you have done that in the last year as a community day. Really admire you guys for that. So my next question. So that was a very generic question, right? So I guess my questions are very specific to what comes to you in your meetups, right? Agree with that? Okay. So the next question would be the people who are coming in. So there are many students who jump in who wants to join. So for that students, uh, everyone thinks as you spoke about AWS credit, right? So when suppose if I'm a student, I'm coming forward and asking for AWS credit. It's not like directly we go ahead and give it, right? So what kind of understanding we take from them, like for example, what kind of project they want, why they want to have it, how they are going to use it. So how you have this kind of discussions with the people who are actually there are some people who are really inspirational who wants to try something to bring some change or something. So how you handle this kind of conversation when somebody comes ahead with the idea of asking for credits? Anyone?
according to me, if somebody is coming and asking me, if he cares enough to ask for a credit, it means he really wants to do some hands-on things with AWS and he totally deserves it. So I usually straight away go ahead and do whatever I can to get him that credit, because it's not a big amount that we are giving away. If it is available, then it is definitely given. We do ask them, like, what are you planning to do, what are your interests. We just try to get to know more about the student or the person in general. But in general, if they are that interested, then why not? If we have it, then I think we should go ahead and do that favor to them if we have it in our power. Yeah.
Yes, yes, that's true. Thank you, Sabiha, for answering that. So my last
Uh,
question to
Sorry,
you.
just to add one or two points on that. So AWS, if you have a .edu email as a student, you get free credits. There's a program called AWS Educate. Google it, sign up on it, and you will get $200 of free credits if you have .edu. Plus, last month, AWS started student clubs. That's a new program from AWS. So if you are a student who is interested in learning AWS and promoting AWS in your university or in your student circle, contact us or contact AWS about student clubs. If you have become a student club and you host a learning workshop or a introduction session or something, you get free accounts where you can play around. And you also, if you're again a student club leader, then you get some credits from AWS to share it with your peers, right? So there are other ways rather than straightforward credits. There are other ways to do this.
Thank you, thank you. So that's a very good workaround that I was
Mm.
actually expecting. So
So,
that
so
people
just,
students.
can I add something, Hussein? I mean, for the sake of our listeners who are listening, if you would like to give the age limit, what is the start age and what is the end age? I'm sorry, Dheeraj, I took your mic, but it will really help the guys.
Yes, I'm glad you took it. Please go ahead. Yeah.
So for AWS Educate, the only requirement is that you should have a .edu email address. Your university or your college, right? If you have email which has .edu in it, that's good enough. There's no age limit for the AWS Educate, as far as I know. For AWS student clubs, again, there's no age limit as such. Okay, but of course, if you are the early adopter of cloud, maybe you're a 10-year-old who really loves cloud, y- for you, it's very good, but you cannot start a club in your school because not everyone around you will be interested, right? So that matters. But in terms of terms and conditions, there's no age limit mentioned anywhere. So even 10 or 20, 10 years olds want to start a student club, they theoretically can, right? There's nothing wrong with that.
That's the beauty of the program, I would say. that anybody can go ahead and learn. So thank you guys for answering that question. So as a closing note, my last question to you guys would be, as I am calling a limited speakers over here, limited co-organizers, limited co-leads, and limited volunteers. So if you guys want to, come forward and give a shout out to others who have actually incredibly contributed to the community as part of your Dubai community, I would really appreciate that.
Actually, there are so many people to thank in our UG. We just had this AWS Community Day, and it tested our community, and we went one notch up, one notch higher, I would say. Actually, we were getting a lot of help from AWS itself. There is Maria Encina, she's the senior community programs manager, in the EMEA region. And we have Mohammed Fazlullah, he's the developer advocate, senior developer advocate actually, and they were actually walking us, they were holding our hands and literally showing us the ropes, like this is how it's done. But then inside the community, even though me, Hamid, Hussain, Anas Khattar, one more UG leader, who couldn't make it today. So we were all planning it for many days. But as the community, community day came nearer and things had to get expedited, we asked for help, and some very beautiful people like Logesh, Haider, they came forward, and I think I have to name them here, and I have to personally thank them. We would love to thank like Ashok Nayak, and Adit Unni was there, Abdul Rahman was there, Nihal El Zubair was there, Saad Zaman. These people came in, they helped us with so many things, like from designing our swags, from making the PPTs, from designing the website, the whole thing, registering the attendees, arranging the rooms. I can't even mention everything in the same sentence. It's like so many things. And Hussain was managing, Hameedullah was managing everything. And it was amazing that how they have put their input here. And people like Mark Birch, they flew all the way to Dubai from US, to motivate the people. So it was great. So we need to give a big, big, big shout out to them.
Thank you. Anybody wants to add something more as a shout out to other people that you would like to, promote for their work that they have been doing effortlessly for this community?
Yeah, other than all the community in our community contributors, which Sabiha thankfully shout out and took their names and thank them. I also want to thank the AWS team, who helps us to maintain this community, their developer advocates, their community managers. Maria is one, Carissa Wood is another one. So those are always available to help us with so many things. If you want speakers, any AWS solution architects who want to cover up for the speaker who 11th hour can't make it, certification vouchers, right? You name it, credits. It could be like recap. After reInvent, the recap is the event which all the user groups have planned. So all the slides for that. There's so many things, right? AWS also sponsored for the community day event, and they also helped us with so many operational tasks as well, like what to do, what not to do, what will work, what not will work, because they come up with the world level of experience. We are only doing community days for country level or city level, but they are the ones who do it at a world level, like hundreds of cities around the world, right? So yeah, shout out to them also. It's not only but the other part, hidden part, is the AWS team itself who helps us in almost every step. So yeah.
Thank you guys for the shout out, and thank you so much for joining this live talk. I hope people who are watching this talk, if you want to follow these people, or you would like to know that what is the next event that is upcoming for AWS User Group Dubai, don't forget to check their meetup page, follow them on Twitter, and follow them on their LinkedIn page. So whatever things that I'm talking about right now, if you go to the description of this specific YouTube, you will get all the links available over there. If you're not able to find it over there, don't worry. After this session is ended, I am again going to share with you the Meetup and the Twitter and LinkedIn channel. So follow them on that. And if you want to go ahead and become part of AWS User Group Dubai, please come forward for the next event and meet these interesting folks who are actually coming forward, and they are sitting there to handhold you to come forward and bring some revolution in AWS tech communities where you can share your ideas, and if you need some exploration, they are there to help you. Thank you guys for joining this talk. It's really incredible to have you guys on my talk show channel. Thank you and have a great weekend.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Bye guys. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye for now.